Lawrence Kohlberg is a theorist who developed the moral development theory, and his theory basically states that how you were raised in an environment when you were little will have an effect on how you think when you're older. That being said, if you are one of those people who feels guilty for people and has a heart towards people even if they did something wrong, but your beliefs and how you were grown up in that environment as you were little takes place, then that's how you're going to think when you're older. If you are the type of person who grew up in an environment that dealt with looking at facts rather than having emotional connection, then when you're older you'll have more of a factual opinion and bias. That being said, I want to focus on the Canadian legal system and how it's flawed. More importantly, focused on the courts, and we're going to take a look at the jury, for example. So the jury is a panel of people who decide whether someone is guilty or not. There are multiple people in it, so the verdict is majority rules, which is a good thing because we don't have one person with one biased opinion deciding the fate of someone. But it is an obligation as a Canadian citizen to partake in jury duty, which means that there are people who are randomly being chosen and they are unexperienced and they're getting put onto a panel deciding the fate of someone else. I believe that the jury should be made up of people who are more experienced with the law, people who can put their beliefs aside to give more accurate readings. I want to focus on the case of Gabrielle Deflys-Ellis. She was 17 when she was found in the hotel room dead. Her boyfriend was being tried for the murder. The jury came to a standstill, therefore they did not have a verdict, and the case was declared mistrial. Yes, the jury comes to standstills. Yes, that is possible. But it's what comes afterwards that really emphasizes why the jury should be made up of experienced people rather than inexperienced people. Because afterwards, when the jury was talked to by the court people, they were not impressed. They were showing signs of anger, crossing their arms because they didn't believe what the judge has said. And they're putting their personal beliefs and their emotional beliefs and connections to the case that they didn't have the evidential beliefs, and the only thing that they could see was their personal beliefs rather than being more lenient to knowing if the person is guilty or not. And that's why I believe that the jury is the most flawed and should be made up of experienced people rather than an obligation by law as a Canadian citizen to be part of. I choose you. And you. And you. And what the heck? You two. See you in court.